I don't think life at any point has ever gone the way that I planned. Life can change very suddenly. And whilst things might seem wildly out of control, it's not lost forever. And when you're strong enough, you will start to be able to pull some of it back. I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and I've got to say that I'm not exactly where I thought I would be in life, but no one ever really is, and I'm okay with that. The thing is, our brains are fantastic machines that can imagine such wondrous possibilities, but the hardest part is actually achieving it. How many times have you heard you just need to start? But starting is in fact the hardest part. It's where we feel the most resistance. Because suddenly we're faced with all these hurdles that are in the way, and our mind will look to solve these problems. And sometimes that includes changing our minds on what we want, what we need, and sometimes who we are. Because when we face difficulties, this is the biggest opportunity to learn more about ourselves. And this is where I found myself shifting the most. I am no longer who I was 5 years ago, let alone I'm not even the same person as I was last year. Because with life comes experiences, and experiences can change you. That doesn't mean to say that you are a fake person and you were just pretending to be someone that you're not, because sometimes there are events in our lives that will make us reconsider things, that will shift our mindset. That's not to say that all changes are good, but I find that when change does happen, I always come out stronger than before. I do, however, believe that life only teaches you as much as you're willing to learn. Sometimes that lesson is just about reprioritizing things. And there's certain things that we need to maintain that are really important for our well-being, because if you don't look after your well-being, you're not going to be any good to anyone. You'll probably be slacking in work, your relationships will dwindle, and you're just not really going to get a lot out of life because everything seems so dark and miserable. What you have to remember is that just because everyone else thinks that you have to do something a certain way doesn't mean it's the way for everyone. And that's also something that I've had to learn, because there's certain things that I would do because I felt like I was expected to do it. I'd always been taught that it was the way that things are done, and not really thinking for myself that I didn't really get much enjoyment from it. And this is where I learned that the definition of success changes. When I was younger, I wanted to be a singer-songwriter. I wrote music, I played, I performed, I did all of that sort of thing. I had no interest in going to uni. However, that changed. And so I found myself going to London to do a music degree in business and graduated doing nothing of the sort. I ended up having to come back from London to Somerset because life changed. It didn't go the way I expected. I did have some plans to go into the music industry, but the way that things turned out, I had to move back, and I kind of had to take some time out. Then I ended up getting a job in the food industry, and for me at the time that was successful because getting a job in the area that I lived in was quite difficult, and I had done that. Then I changed industries because I wanted to earn some more money. Then I wanted a promotion because even though it wasn't the industry that I was interested in, I felt like I wanted to achieve at least something. Have a title, have a role with extra responsibilities, because for myself I felt like if I did that, then I'm doing really well for myself. I thought I was doing really well, but there always felt like something was missing. And what was missing was that creative side. But you could say that I ended my musical career because I didn't continue with it, and I've focused more on something that isn't as fulfilling but does generate a stable income. Do I have regrets about not sticking to things sometimes? Yes, I do. But am I going to waste my time thinking about it and wishing that I could go back and change it? No, because life and time is much more precious than that. You will never get that time back, and so we need to spend it wisely. We have to respect where we currently are, but there's nothing to say that we stop dreaming and working towards that dream. And so as I value my time, I try not to do the overtime at work, because that overtime cuts into my time. And my time is where I get to sit down and noodle about on my guitar, or to plan a video like one of these, or just something that I just feel like doing. Because Those moments is what gives me pleasure. It's what de-stresses me. And this is why it is very, very important for your well-being to look after those things. Life is more than just about money. It's about experiences. It's about spending time with your family or your partner or your kids. It's about having those moments that is part of life. And the other thing about life is that you just have to trust it. Because sometimes you just have to roll with it. There are so many opportunities that you have no idea about, and that can change the course of your life. All you need to do is be open to it. You have to trust where your life is going. It might not be great right now, but the belief that it can get better is what you need to hold on to. Because you never know, there could be one decision that could change the course of your life. And sometimes no one ever really knows what would have been the right or wrong decision because we just don't know what the outcome could have been. It's as simple as maybe taking the bus to work instead. You end up meeting someone that you end up marrying in 8 years' time, and you would have never thought that would have happened. It's really crazy that all these different decisions that we make can lead us down a completely different path, and we have no idea about it. And that can sound scary, but it's also exciting. And to me, that's what life is all about.